Hello students, welcome to the video lecture series of Artificial Intelligence. Today we are going to start with the next chapter, that is symbolic reasoning under uncertainty. So I am your instructor Bhumin Mandalia for this video lecture series of Artificial Intelligence. Let us start with the outline of today's session. That first topic that we are going to cover up, that introduction to non-monotonic reasoning. Second is logics for non-monotonic reasoning, and third is non-monotonic logic. Okay, so let us start with the first topic of today's session, that is introduction to non-monotonic reasoning. Now till now we were considering each and everything in our artificial intelligence as a truth or fact. Now using all these facts, it may not be possible that always we can have one option to deduce my given fact. Okay, that means if we add some fact, then the previous fact may be invalidated. So let's say in many domains it is not possible to create complete, consistent and unchanging model of world. So this chapter deals with the problem of incomplete and uncertain model. So uncertain model, that means what? Whatever we are given, it may or it may not be a fact. How we will be able to deduce the given fact from given number of statements? So for that, this non-monotonic reasoning means if we add some fact, if we deduce some fact, then my given fact may be invalidated, it cannot be considered further. So that is called as non-monotonic reasoning. So in many domains, it is not possible to create complete and consistent and unchanging model of world. Okay, till now we were having, let's say Marcus was a man, that was a fact. Marcus was a Pompeian, that was the fact. All Pompeians died when Vulcan erupted in 79 AD. Okay, Marcus tried to assassinate Caesar. All these facts were considered as my truth in my numerical, okay, in my problem. Now onwards, it may not be possible that each and everything which we are given is fact, and if we add some fact, that it will be complying the given set of facts. So let us have the example for this. Consider a story that Abbott, Babbitt and Cabot suspected in one murder case. Right? So Abbott, Babbitt and Cabot are suspected in some murder case. So see, Abbott was present in a register of respected hotel in Albany. See, all of them are giving their compliance to police. Okay, so let's say Abbott was present in register of respected hotel in Albany. All of them are trying to themselves. Okay, all of them are trying to save themselves. So Abbott was absent in register of respected hotel in Albany. Okay, so this is the hotel in which the murder was there. Okay, next is Babbitt visited his brother-in-law in Brooklyn. So at the time of murder, Babbitt said that I was there with my brother-in-law. Next is Cabot claimed that he went to watch a ski meet match. That means, can we say that these three people are suspected in this murder case and they are trying to save themselves, so they are not available at the point at the time of murder. Okay, so none of these people have did the crime. Okay, so see, the conclusion is that Abbott did not commit the crime, okay, because he was absent in the register. Second is Babbitt did not commit the crime because Babbitt was there with his brother-in-law. Now Cabot also, the claim of Cabot is unrealistic since he told himself. Okay, but with the good luck he caught in the television at ski meet game. Now what Cabot claimed? Cabot claimed that he was there to watch a ski meet game. Okay, so if he was there to watch the ski meet game, then can we say that Cabot also was not present at the time of murder? Okay, so Cabot claim was from himself. Okay, there is no other point, or we can say there is no other party who can prove his fact. So he told that himself, but with a good luck, he was caught in the television at a ski meet game. Okay, so this is we can say one of the concrete proofs. Now Cabot did not commit the crime, so we have concluded that Abbott did not commit the crime, Babbitt did not commit the crime, and Cabot did not commit the crime. So see, none of them commit the crime, so certain arbitrariness and randomness should be noted in this analysis. So inconsistent beliefs in previous statements like this, that a belief about the hotel register. So if the hotel is somewhat a prestigious hotel, then and only then we will be able to believe that register. Otherwise we should not believe that register. So one thing that we have considered, that is certain arbitrariness and randomness, that a belief about hotel register. Second is a belief about the prestige of hotel. That means you will be able to trust on that hotel register if and only if that hotel is somewhat a famous hotel. Okay. Next is a belief about television. See, if live match was telecast and if one is watching its highlight, then if Cabot was found in that TV in that match, then only then we will be easily able to trust, because that live match will not lie. Okay, so a belief about brother-in-law. So from all these beliefs, this fourth belief is somewhat unrealistic, because this brother-in-law of Babbitt is his relative, so he might be trying to save Babbitt, right? So a belief about brother-in-law is somewhat unrealistic. Now see, the story illustrates the problem posed by uncertain and often changing knowledge. See, in this entire story, each and everything may or may not be fact. If we add some fact, then the previous fact may be invalidated. For example, in our conclusion, we had seen that Abbott, Babbitt or Cabot, none of them committed the crime. But let us add the fourth statement, that either Abbott or Babbitt or Cabot committed the crime, then our one of the previous fact may be cancelled, that may be invalidated. So that is why we can say, if we add some fact, then my previous fact can be invalidated. That is why we can say this is the example of non-monotonic reasoning, which will model the often changing world. So this story illustrates a problem posed by uncertain and often changing knowledge. Now there are two approaches to deal with this type of problem. First approach is non-monotonic reasoning and second approach is statistical reasoning. Non-monotonic reasoning, that means axioms and rule of inference are extended to make it possible to reason with incomplete information. So in this one, we are going to extend our knowledge base in such a way so that we will be able to deal with incomplete information. In this incomplete information, see how to deal with this incomplete information. So to deal with incomplete information, we are going to concentrate on the concreteness of proofs. That means how much concrete our proofs are. Okay, if we are having some concrete proof which can be easily believed, then we are going to consider that particular statement as my truth, or we can say fact. Second alternative is statistical reasoning. Statistical reasoning representation is extended to allow attach some numerical measure like probability. So in this statistical reasoning, we are going to attach one numeric measure, and that numeric measure is called as probability. So by trusting on that probability, we will be able to decide that how much probability for being the fact occurring is. Okay, if let's say 0.9 probability is there from 1, okay, so then you will be easily able to believe that fact. But if some fact is having the probability 0.001, then we cannot believe that fact and we will be easily able to neglect and we should not consider that fact. So in second alternative, in statistical reasoning, we are going to attach some numeric measure on that fact. Okay, so let us start with the second topic, that is logics for non-monotonic reasoning. Now we are going to consider that how should we deal with non-monotonic reasoning. So see, first is default reasoning. Default reasoning, that means we want to use non-monotonic reasoning to perform default reasoning. So to perform non-monotonic reasoning, this is one way which is called as default reasoning. Now we want to draw conclusion based on what is most likely to be true. Okay, for example, let's say if we consider one program of C language, and if C language is having some global variable, then we know that global variable always takes the value 0 at initial level. Okay, so if we are having some calculation on the basis of that global variable and we don't find any value assigned to that global variable, then we can have the default value 0. Okay, so here we are going to consider the fact which is most likely to be true. Right, now we discussed two approaches for doing this. So for default reasoning we are having two approaches. First approach is non-monotonic logic and second approach is default logic. So there are two approaches for doing non-monotonic logic and default logic. Now these are the two approaches. Now we are having two kinds of reasoning also. For doing non-monotonic reasoning we are also having two types. The first one is abduction and second one is inheritance. So these two are the kinds of doing non-monotonic reasoning. Now see, let us start with the first type, and our first type was what? That is non-monotonic logic. So let us start with the non-monotonic logic, that is our first type. So see, it is a basis of default reasoning. So it is a basis, or we can say fundamental of default reasoning. So for default reasoning, the first order predicate logic is augmented with a modal operator M, which can be read as is consistent. See, how you will be able to prove fact using default reasoning? Okay, so first way to prove the fact, that was non-monotonic logic. So using non-monotonic logic, our first order predicate logic is augmented with modal operator. Modal operator, that means it can be read as is consistent. Now for all, see, one example is there. For all x and y, x is related to y and x was get along with y is consistent. See what this M denotes. See, this get along predicate is preceded by modal operator, which is denoted as M. So M means is consistent. So x get along y is consistent to be proved. Then implies means then x will try to defend y. This is the story about Babbitt. See, in case of Babbitt, his brother-in-law was trying to save him, okay, by claiming something. So if x is related to y and it is consistent to prove the fact that x get along the y, x was there with y, then we can say x will try to defend y. Right? Now for all x and y are related, and if the fact x gets along y is consistent, see M modal operator means is consistent, then conclude that x will defend y. Now consistency can be proved by resolution technique of prologue notion of negation as failure. Now how you will be able to prove that is consistent is there, is consistent is okay to believe or not? So for that you can use the technique of resolution, that is, or backward chaining of prologue. Okay, in prologue that technique was called as negation as failure, because first of all we were accepting the statement which was the reverse of the given statement, and that statement was proved as wrong. Okay, so this is the scenario of non-monotonic logic, right? So thank you for paying your attention. Thank you, students.